All right, testing, 1, 2, 3. Got me, brother? All right, okay, so once again, this is your brother Eliyahu. We're going to get our class started today. We're going to try not to make it go long, but if anybody that want to ask any questions, you can ask the questions. If you want to chime in. But we are going to be dealing with the book of Hosea. Hosea 1 and 2 is what we're going to, that's going to be our launch, okay? We're not going to use a whole lot of 2. But I want you guys, when you get ready to go into this book of Hosea, you're getting ready to get a whole new understanding of this book of Hosea. So I want you to kind of erase out your mind what you know about Hosea right now at this hour before we get started, okay? Everybody with me so far? Yeah. And I need you guys to have an open mind and just hear what the book has to say to you in the book of Hosea. Now, we do have a lot of precepts that we're going to tie in. Not a lot of them, but enough precepts that we're going to tie into this thing that's going to definitely give us the understanding that we want to have in this book of Hosea. Okay? Is there anybody that have any questions about what we're getting ready to do? No? Okay. So now, the name of this lesson, I named it one thing, but we have it online as something else. I'm going to give you what I named it, okay? I named it the created nation. The created nation is what I named it. But we have it online as something else, okay? So that should tell you right there, if we're dealing with Hosea, there's something strange about that book of Hosea, that the way that they've given us understanding of Hosea. Because if you ask somebody, say, do you know, have you ever read the book of Hosea? First thing they're going to say, yeah. God told him to go marry a harlot. Ain't that going to be the first thing they're going to say? But inside our mind, what are we thinking from the beginning when we see the book of Hosea? Based on what all of Israel has told us about the prophets of the book. You see? It's based on what our understanding of the prophecy of the book that make us get that thought when it comes down to the book of Isaiah. Everybody with me so far? Hosea, right? What is it, Hosea? Isaiah? Yeah. Okay, well, he's going to be in there too. But Hosea, right? So now, I'm getting ready to launch you off with my launch, okay? Here come the launch. Yeah, everybody ready? Everybody ready? Not yet. Everybody ready? Brother Chauncey.
Yes, sir.
Now, can you give me Deuteronomy 32 and 18? We're going to go through 21, but I want you to help me out with those commas, okay?
Sure.
And we're going to try something different today. We normally go with mics. The brothers and I, we're going to try to go without mics today. So we're going to be speaking a little bit louder because our mics are throwing off our recording. So we're going to go without mics today and see how that work out. Okay, so we would not be looking like Star Trek today. All right, are we ready?
Yeah.
Are we ready? Do everybody else have it? We're going to try to make sure we give everybody a chance. Brother Chauncey told me last week that I was moving a little too fast for people to get their scriptures. So I'm going to be obedient.
All right, Deuteronomy chapter 32, verse 18. Deuteronomy chapter 32, verse 18.
All right, when you get it, look up. We know you got it. You got it? All right.
And it reads,
thus wise,
of the rock that begat thee, thou art mindful, unmindful.
Of the rock that beget thee. Now he's talking to Israel. It says, thou art unmindful. So of the rock of our Creator, we are unmindful toward our Creator. And read.
And hast forgotten Elohim that formed thee.
Backed up what I just said. And read that 19th verse.
And when the Elohim saw it,
and when Elohim saw that we were unmindful unto him, what?
He abhorred them.
He abhorred them. And what?
Because of the provoking of his sons and of his daughters.
You see that? Because he created everybody. He created everything. But he created Israel to be a holy people, a holy nation of people to lead all the other nations and be a what? And be a light unto the rest of the nations. But when he found that Israel was not obeying him, he had a problem with that. And that also the heads of Israel, which if you look at it, what happens is that when you, and just like the common day church, when a person, when you got pastor or a bishop or whatever they want to call themselves, and they start teaching a certain thing, and these people follow what they teach, and they lead those people down that road. So Israel was being led into a direction that the Most High did not want them to go in. Okay? And he said provoking his sons and of his daughters. And what, my brother?
And he said,
what did he say?
I will hide my face from them.
He said, because of what you're doing, I'm going to hide my face from you guys. What?
I will see what their end shall be.
I'm going to hide my face. I'm not going to do all the things I promised to do for you guys because you're not holding your end of the bargain. Remember the lesson from last week about jealousy. Y'all remember the jealousy? Y'all remember that? Okay, so now what's going on now is that he said, I'm going to hide my face from them, and I will see their end shall be. What their end going to come now? What you going to do without me? Right? Read.
For they are a very forward generation.
Because they are a very forward generation. You see that? He's talking about Israel. And what?
They have moved me to jealousy with that which is not Elohim.
You see that? So listen now. He said, they have moved me to jealousy with that which is not what? Of our Elohim. And what?
They have provoked me to anger with their vanities.
They have provoked me to anger with their vanities. So we see it. It's all in their behavior. Yes, ma'am.
The last part, children in whom no faith.
Okay, he missed that part? Okay, okay, it said, yeah, it said, for a forward generation back in 20, and you missed the part that said, children in whom is no faith. So that's very important. Thank you, sister. Because we know that faith is not something that you speak out your mouth. Right? Faith is not something you claim. Faith is an action word, which is a verb. Right? So your faith should identify, or your action should identify your faith. Am I correct? Okay? So then he said in 21, that they have moved me to jealousy with what? With that which is not God. But it said, well, Elohim. They have provoked me to anger with their vanities. And I will what?
I will move them to jealousy with those which are not a people.
Huh?
I will move them to jealousy with those which are not a people.
But how do you make somebody jealous with somebody that don't even exist? And now wait a minute now. We get ready to break down Hosea. So I'm telling you something right now. Right? That was a nugget. And then he said, what?
I will provoke them to anger with a foolish nation.
What?
A foolish nation.
So he said, the people I'm going to use are people which is no people. But I'm going to take a foolish nation and I'm going to make this people. And this people that I'm going to make is going to provoke Israel unto jealousy. Make sense so far? Knowing what we know about Hosea? Does it make sense so far? If not, got another nugget for you. Give me Romans 29 and 25. Romans 9 and 25. Romans 9 and 25. Can you pull Romans 9 and 25 up in your, somebody can pull it up in their, in the 1611 or one of the other books that have the Apocrypha in? I think you want to pull out 1611. Romans 9 and 25. And when you find it, hold it. Let me be sure. I'm going to see it, make sure it's right. Okay. Hold on for a second. Hold tight for a second. Okay, everybody in place? Everybody got it? Not you? Okay, we're trying to get it in the 1611, so hold tight, everybody. Right, hold tight. You ready, brother? Everybody ready? Remember what I said in the last chapter, in the last reading, right? So now let's go to Romans 9 and 25, And it reads thus wise.
As he said also in O.C.
Who is O.C.? It's not O.C., it's Hosea. Who is Hosea? That's Hosea, right? So that's the book of Hosea. He's saying, as he said in what? Hosea, which is Hosea, what?
I will call them my people.
I will what?
Call them my people.
And what?
Which was not my people.
Which was not my people. And what?
And her beloved.
Uh-huh.
Which was not beloved.
Okay, y'all got that right? Everybody got that? Remember, we think about Hosea, book of Hosea. Right? Read that next verse, the 26th verse.
And it shall come to pass that in the place where it was said unto them,
what?
Ye are not my people. There shall they be called the children of the living Elohim.
Who is he talking about? Huh? Somebody help me out. We all read Hosea. Who are they talking about? Huh? Y'all sure about that? Are y'all sure about that? You think it's a fake Jew?
Yeah.
You do? Okay.
The first part of that verse.
Wait, which part of you talking about?
I will call them my people who were not my people.
Okay. And he also gonna call what? And he gonna call that people beloved, right? Which is not his beloved, right? And then inside that 22nd verse, remember now, we talk about Hosea. I haven't gotten to the meat yet. I'm just throwing you a few crumbs out there right now. All right? Throwing you a few crumbs. I'm talking kind of fast. I'm a little excited about this lesson. I like this lesson. I'm slow it down a little bit. Okay? So it says, so now, so let's get with it, right? So he said in 26, he say what?
The 26.
Uh-huh.
It says that it shall come to pass that in the place where it was said unto them, Ye are not my people.
Don't you guys know that the people that he said that he was going to call his people that wasn't his people, right? At some point, the place we're talking about actually is Jerusalem. They are not going to, they did not call his people in Jerusalem. These people was never called his people in Jerusalem, right? So he says that and it shall come to pass that the place where it was said unto them, ye are not my people, there shall they be called the children of the living God. Huh? Can you see it? Y'all can't see it yet, right? I got you lined up. I got you lined up real good. Now I'm getting ready to pour you right on down in the way you want to be, okay? Brother Darren, can you give me Hosea 1 and that 1 and 1? Hold tight. Let's let everybody catch up with us. Hosea 1 and 1. You found what I wanted to get, Brother Johnson? You did? What was it?
Romans 9 and 25?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
And can I see it? Oh, see. Okay, good. I just want to make sure that Romans in the regular Bible, in King James Version, because this is not, my Bible is not this one is not 1611. It don't have the Apocrypha in it. But the 1611 has the Apocrypha in it. I just want to make sure that the wording was the same in both when it said Hosea. So it still say Hosea, right? Okay. So now so Brother Johnson confirmed that. Hosea 1, verse 1. Everybody ready? Here it comes.
Hosea verse 1. Hosea chapter 1, verse 1.
A little louder.
The word of the Most High that came unto Hosea.
The word of the Most High? It said the word of who? The Most High. That came unto Hosea what?
The son of Beri. In the days of Uzziah. Jotham. Ahaz. And Hezekiah. Kings of Judah. And in the days of Jeroboam, the son of Joash, king of Israel.
Okay. So now, what they just did in the book of Hosea, what Hosea just done was he just took you and gave you a historical time. He put you in a historical place with a biblical word. So if something lined up biblically and historically, it has to be real, right? So now, if you look at the king, now all these kings he named, let me say this, all these names he just named was kings. And this was the time they said that this took place, that the time he gave this, prophecy unto Hosea was the time that these guys was kings. I know y'all know about Jotham because we did the what you call it, the Judges, and he popped up inside Judges, right? So that means that the Most High had him to lead his people, okay? Because you have some kings, you have some judges, but they all rule. We got to understand that, right? But one other particular thing about these guys he just named is this, is that you have a father, a son, a grandson, and a great-great-grandson. So all of them rule consecutively. So during the time of their rulership is during the time that the Most High gave this prophecy unto who? Hosea. Right? Y'all ready? Give me that second verse, brother.
The beginning of the word of the Most High by Hosea.
Uh-huh.
And the Most High said to Hosea,
uh-huh,
go take unto thee a wife of whores,
uh-huh,
and children of whores.
uh-huh.
For the land hath committed great whoredom, departing from the Most High.
So now, are he talking about a physical whoredom? Or is he talking about a spiritual whoredom? It's a spiritual whoredom that he's talking about, right? So now, notice that when he told Hosea to go marry a wife of whoredom, right? Think about something right here, right? If the Most High gives Israel a law, the Most High have to keep that law himself. The Most High cannot tell Israel to go commit whoredom. Did that make sense to y'all?
Yes.
So y'all wonder, well, how did Hosea say that? Maybe Hosea is not what you think he is. That might be the difference, right? Because they told me that all prophets in the Bible was Israel. But you are your father's seed. Right? But it says that when you look up Hosea, let me go ahead first. Yes. When you look up Hosea, you're going to find out that Hosea, you can put up your smartphones real quick and catch this if you want. But Hosea is the son of a Hittite. But he was a prophet in Israel. So wow, the Most High cannot take Israel and tell Israel to go marry someone of whoredom, but he can take a Gentile and tell that Gentile that's not bound by the law to go marry someone from whoredom. Because if he did, then he wouldn't be keeping his own law, and he would cause Israel to sin. The Most High is not going to cause you to sin. He's going to put you in position. He'll turn you over to a reprobate mind. He'll make you believe that those things, if he keep giving you the truth and you don't receive the truth, he'll give you a mind of slumber. He'll do those things, right? So now, Hosea's mother was not mentioned. But according to Israel, we go by the blood of the father in certain points. But we can't completely say that. Why? Because our Hamashiach came down through the blood of what? His mother, which was Mary. You see? So that's not a golden rule. Right? Also, the Most High has always referred to the Gentiles as children of whoredom. Because they worship other gods other than him. They worship small gods. And I won't say all of them, but I say majority, many of them. But he referred to them as what? As a whoredom. Romans 11:7. Let's go to Romans 11:7. Remember everything I just said. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, sister.
Did you read Genesis 26 and 34?
Genesis 26 and 34. Give me a quote, Genesis 26 and 34.
Okay. Verse 34, Genesis chapter 26. And Esau was 40 years old when he took to wife Judah, the daughter of Berai, the Hittite, and Baal-shemath, the daughter of Elon and the Hittite, which were a grief of mind unto Isaac and to Rebekah.
Right. So I had that in my notes. I didn't read it, right? But if you look at it, so what actually happened is, it says that, wait a minute, read it again, but go, so give mind your comments.
Sure.
34.
And Esau was 40 years old.
And Esau was 40 years old.
When he took to wife Judah, the daughter of Berai, the Hittite, and Baal-shemath, the daughter of Elon.
So now, let me say this to you, right? The son, no, well, I'm not going to jump ahead of myself. I don't want to jump ahead of myself. Okay, but as we can see that Esau married into Bari, I call him Bari, but he's going to call him Barai, either way, right? That was Hosea's father. Bariah was Hosea's father. So if Bariah is Hosea's father, and his daughter Esau married, which was Judah, right? And she was a what? Hittite, right? Then, and she was the daughter of, she was a Hittite, but the father of Judah, but okay, so that was Bariah's daughter. So if Hosea father was Bariah, that makes Hosea what? He's a descendant of Bariah. That means Hosea is a what? Hittite. So I wanted to make sure that we broke that down, that to show that he was a Hittite.
He could be a grandson. When it says
Right.
son of Bariah,
Exactly.
grandson, great grandson, he's from that line.
Right. He don't have to be like direct, straight shot blood, son and father and son. It can be. It's just like when the Most High cursed Ham. It went a few generations down and hit Canaan. Right. Same difference because he's from that same bloodline. Do you everybody understand what I'm saying about that?
Yep.
Okay. So we also know that the Hittites, the original Hittites or Hittitians, sprang up from Ham through Canaan, second son, Het. Right? So that's where the Hittites came from, the original Hittites. That's where they came from. So now, let's go into Hosea. Let's go into Hosea. When you find the scripture for me.
Romans 11, chapter 7. Romans 11, verse 7.
Okay, Romans 11, verse 7. Read that for me.
Excuse me. What is Genesis 29?
26, 34 to 35.
34.
Romans 11,
Okay.
verse 7.
Uh-huh.
What then?
What then?
Israel hath not obtained that which he seeketh for.
Uh-huh.
But the election hath obtained it.
Uh-huh.
And the rest were blinded.
Read.
According as it is written, Elohim hath given them the spirit of slumber,
Okay.
eyes that they should not see,
Israel had eyes, he gave them eyes that could not see, and what?
and ears that they should not hear unto this day.
And to this day, it's still the same. Right? Read.
And David said,
Uh-huh.
let their table be made a snare,
Uh-huh.
and a trap,
Uh-huh.
and a stumbling block,
Uh-huh.
and recompense unto them.
Read.
Let their eyes be darkened, that they may not see, and bow down their back, they back up away.
Right. And bow down, they'll back away. Right? And read.
I say then, have they stumbled that they should fall?
Mm-hmm.
Elohim forbid.
Uh-huh.
But
rather through their fall, salvation is come unto the Gentiles, for to provoke them to jealousy.
So now, y'all see where we are? Now we're still talking about Hosea 1, right? And I'm dealing with 1 and 2. But we read Romans, which is when we went in and got some precepts, right? So now what you want to see is my ultimate precept was Romans 7 and 11, but I read a little bit more 7 through 11. But that's to let you know, it says that their salvation, it says that rather though their salvation is come unto the Gentiles, right? Because they had stumbled and they fell. But the salvation came unto the Gentiles because Israelites had failed, right? To provoke them unto jealousy. Now, let me get Hosea 1 and 3, Brother Reggie.
Hosea 1 and 3.
Hosea 1 and 3.
So he went and took Gomer, the daughter of Diblaim, which conceived and bare him a son.
Now, so Hosea, he went over to Gomer, right? He went and got a daughter. He went and got Gomer, the daughter of Diblaim. Now let's go with this right here, right? We got to understand something. Gomer is a very odd name for a woman. You would not find, I have not found a woman named Gomer. So what we had to do was we had to go into Genesis 10 and 2. Right. So we had to go into Genesis 10 and 2. And we're going to read who is Gomer.
Yeah, but I read it. I was like, what's going on here?
Right. So we're going somewhere. So let's read Genesis. Let's read Genesis 2. 10 and 2. Read, my brother.
Genesis chapter 10, verse 2. The sons of Japheth.
So now we know, just by that starting off, this thing came down through Japheth. Read.
Gomer.
Magog.
Madai. Javan. Tubal. Meshach. Tyrus.
And read that third verse.
And the sons of Gomer.
What?
Ashkenazi.
Say what?
Ashkenazi.
Read that again.
The sons of Gomer. Ashkenaz.
And what? And
Riphath. And Tomaga.
So now, the Most High told Hosea, the Hittite, to go marry a woman from Gomer, right? And we see that Gomer had the very first one that popped up was what? Ashkenaz. We know that there's a people that's in Jerusalem today that call themselves, they don't call themselves, they are the Ashkenaz people.
Nation.
Right? Right. But now the other thing is that they are known as two words. One of them is a Jewish people. And the other name is called Israeli. So they're called Jewish people and they're called Israeli people. Right? Why are they called Israeli people? Because they're not Israel. They almost like an Israelite. Ish. Israelite-ish. Right? That's the same thing as being Jewish. Right? So now, as we look at what we're saying here now in this hour, when we're talking about what happened when the Most High in Genesis 10, 2 through 3, that tells us that Hosea went and married a woman from Gomer, and more than likely this woman, what? Was an Ashkenaz. So now, you got to remember that this is a prophecy. The majority of Hosea is a prophecy that has been partially fulfilled. It's not fully, fulfilled yet, but this is it's partially fulfilled, right? Provoke. It's inside of your apocryphas, Tobet. It's inside the apocrypha. Okay? And it's, we're going to go to Tobet 4 and 12. Tobet 4 and 12. Anybody need a apocrypha, let us know. We'll get going.
Page 38 in your red book.
If you read book, the apocrypha, go to page 38.
What book we are?
Huh?
Where we at?
Tobet. You go in the red book. Oh, you got that C4. Okay, right. You got
Tobit.
All right. So, you ready?
Yep.
Everybody ready? Read, my brother.
All right. The book of Tobit, chapter 4, verse 12.
Uh-huh.
Beware of all whoredoms, my son.
So now listen. The Most High told Israel, he said, he told his people, he said, beware of all whoredoms. What?
And chiefly take a wife of the seed of thy father.
So you take your wife out the seed of Israel. Keep going.
And take not a strange woman to wife.
So if he told Israel not to take a strange wife a strange woman to wife, why would he come back and tell Israel to go marry a whoredom, a whorish woman from Gomer, which is Ashkenaz? So and we can clearly see that here in Hosea 1, he's not talking to Israel. He's talking to the Gentiles. Read, my brother.
Which is not of the father's tribe.
Uh-huh, what?
For we are the children of the prophet.
He said we're the children of the prophets, what?
Noah, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob.
Uh-huh, remember?
Remember, my son,
that
our fathers from the beginning, even that they are married wives of their own kindred, and were blessed in their children, and their seed shall inherit the land.
So I think we've established something here, that the Most High had gave a directive for Israel not to marry outside of their thing. But we got to remember also, this is I'm going to say it again. This is a prophecy. The Most High is going to use another nation. Remember, I named this thing. I tell you what I named it. I said I named this thing the created nation. So now we get ready to get into the creation of this nation. But he put them that nation there. We're going to read that in a minute. Maybe I shouldn't tell you ahead of time. Let's go. Let's keep going. Give me Hosea 1 and 4. So remember, in 3, he told him to go. He went and took a wife, and he could see, and she bare a son. Now here it comes. Read that 4th verse.
And Elohim said unto him, call his name Jezreel.
Hold on. He said, call his name Jezreel. Jezreel. But back then, there was no J. So the name would have been, if you read that this book right here, the 1611, he's going to read that for you again. Hosea 1 and 4.
And the Elohim said unto him, call his name Israel. So I-E-Z-R-E-E-L.
Because it was an I, not a J. Right? He had put this people in the place of Israel to make Israel jealous. But he didn't give them the name of Israel. He didn't say Israel. He said Israel. Let me tell you why. Continue. Stay where you are, brother. Continue to read, brother, right here, brother Reggie.
For yet a little while.
No, go back and say, call his name.
Call his name Jezreel. For yet a little while.
And read.
And I will avenge the blood of Jezreel upon the house of Jehu. And will cause to cease the kingdom of the house of Israel.
So he said, call his name Jezreel, which is Israel, right, for a little while. Because this people is going to be in Israel for a little while. They're not going to be there. Something like Israelite. Kind of like Israelite. But the Most High was so smart, and he is so divine, that he gave them a name near Israel, so that when Israel read this thing, they would get the understanding that this is not his people. This is a people that I have put before you, right, to make you jealous as a people. Say, wow, why would he do that? Because he's a jealous God. We just went through that last week. And we're going to keep going. He's going to tell you more about that, right? Now, Jezreel, meaning just for a little while, is really called Israel. I can't pronounce it. Israel, and we read it from the 1611. Today they call themselves Israelis, and they call themselves Jewish people, meaning something like Israel, meaning that the Ashkenaz will replace Israel for a little while. That's why you see the Ashkenaz Jews over there in Jerusalem right now, pretending to be us, and they're not us. Yes, ma'am.
If I can add to, because he created a whole nation of people. All of them are not Ashkenaz. You got Sephardic, you got the Orthodox Jews, and I think you have another type of Jew.
Khazarians.
Yes.
Khazarians.
Yeah, Khazarians. They come from all over, and they created their own nationality when it's really a belief system that they have. There's people from different countries.
Exactly. And that goes back to the scripture we read when he was saying that they was going to be a people. Let me find it. I can't find it. But we just read it. It's going to be a people of the Gentiles, but we know that, but it's not going to be a, I know it's in the top right here. Hold on. Let me read that for you guys. It said that he's going to use a people. This is Deuteronomy 32 and 21 at the end of it. It said, I will move them to jealousy with a people which are not a people. So it's not a nation of people, it is a combination of people that he's driving, that he's bringing Israel to jealousy with. You see? Can y'all see that so far?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, the Most High took a Hittite and caused him to marry unto Gomer, Ashkenaz, a wife of whoredom, so that he would cause the kingdom of Israel to cease. Because remember what happened. Remember, the northern tribes of Israel, which is Israel, went into bondage first. Right? Am I right? Also, he did something else that maybe I should mention in this lesson because it's going to be a part of next week. But he also gave them a bill of what? So he separated himself from them, right? Okay. But Israel, he didn't remove. Israel stayed in Jerusalem, stayed there, right? Judah stayed there. He moved Israel, but Judah stayed in place, right? So now, Jehu, remember he said he's going to revenge the blood of Jezreel upon the house of Jehu. So Jehu was commanded to conquer King Ahab and Jezebel and his house in the valley of Jezreel. Jezreel is actually a place. But he went too far and killed what? King Uzziah, which is why Hosea mentions avenging the blood of Jezreel, because Jehu did more than what the Most High told him to do. It's almost like these people did more to Israel and Judah than he told them to do. Right? Same situation, same thing. So his blood is going. So Jezreel. I'm sorry. Yeah. Who is that? He's going to avenge his blood. But the blood is going to be Jezebel. Where we at? Anyway, the blood is going to be Jezreel's blood is going to be what? Revenge at Jezreel. Okay. Okay. So house of Jehu. Now let's go back to Hosea 1 and 5.
And it shall come to pass at that day that I will break the bow of Israel in the valley of Jezreel.
So we know that that's a place, right? I just explained to y'all what happened with that place. Okay, let's keep going.
And she conceived again, and bare a daughter. And Elohim said unto him, call her name Lo-ruhamah.
Lo-ruhamah. What?
For I will no more have mercy upon the house of Israel, but I will utterly take them away.
So Israel was pulled out. And then he replaced them with his people. Right? So let's remember this prophecy, right? Now, I don't want to do that. We got to remember that the northern kingdom will move first. Let's go to 2 Kings. So Lo-ruhamah, and that's actually what it means. Is I would no more have mercy upon the house of Israel. 2 Kings 17:6. I just want to show you guys where, because he was talking about that he wasn't going to have any more mercy upon Israel. So I want to show that to you right quick here in 2 Kings 17:6. If you would read that for me.
2 Kings, chapter 17, verse 6. In the 9th year of Hosea.
See that? It goes right back, don't it? It's in the 9th year of Hosea. What?
The king of Assyria took Samaria and carried Israel away into Assyria and placed them in Halah and in the harbor by the river of Gozan and the cities of the Medes.
Drop down and give me that 22nd verse.
For the children of Israel walked in all sins of Jeroboam, which he did. They departed not from them.
Until
the Elohim removed Israel out of his sight. As he had said by all his servants and prophets, so was Israel carried away out of their own land to Assyria until this day.
But remember, Judah was still there. Because he only removed the northern tribe, right? Hosea 1:7. So we can kind of like stay with Hosea 1, because we're going to, so you don't lose your spot, you're going to go back and forth for a minute here.
But I will have mercy upon the house of Judah.
He said, but I have mercy upon the house of Judah. What?
And will save them by the Elohim their God. And will not save them by bow. Nor by sword, nor by battle, by horses, nor by horsemen.
Okay, so now we talk about the southern kingdom. 2 Kings 19:1.
2 Kings chapter 19, verse 1.
So we got to understand that this people that he's talking about have been placed and the whole irony of it is to let us know why the people is inside the Ashkenaz over the way they are and how they got there. It wasn't like that somebody came through there. A lot of people say, well, they came through and ran all of Israel and Judah out of there, and they just came in and they just took over. No. That's not how it went. The Most High created this situation. He put them there. Why? To provoke Israel to jealousy. But when you read the book of Hosea, just like it is, if you read the book of Hosea and you think that Hosea is an Israelite, you're going to get the wrong understanding. Once you find out that he's a Hittite, once you find out he married in whoredom, and you realize that the Most High cannot go against his own law. Any law that he's placed upon Israel, right, he has to live by that law himself. You see what I mean? Okay? So, 2 Kings
19.
And what?
And it came to pass.
And it came to pass?
When King Hezekiah heard it, that he rent his clothes and covered himself with sackcloth and went into the house of Elohim.
And what?
And he sent Eliakim, which was over the household of Sheban, the scribe, and the elders of the priests, covered with sackcloth, to Issy the prophet.
Who is Issy? He sent it to who? Isaiah. the prophet. You see that? So we wouldn't think about the book of this Bible. We open it up, we pass by Isaiah to get over to Hosea, but not realize that Isaiah and Hosea had a connection. Read.
The prophet, the son of Amoz.
So we've all read about Amoz. We talked about Amoz. Keep reading.
And they said unto him, Thus said Hezekiah, This day is the day of trouble, and of rebuke, and of blasphemy. For the children are come to birth, and there is not strength to bring forth.
Who is Hezekiah?
The
King of Judah. Because Israel had already been removed. It was a northern king, there was a northern king, there was a southern king. So we know that we all Israel, but I see that half of us been removed, or the northern half been taken away, and now this same king is talking about coming down from Assyria, and he talking about what? Coming out, taking down Judah. But Hezekiah said, nah, because he was in order. Right? Let's read.
Okay. And it may be that Yahweh of Elohim will hear all the words of Rav Shekin, whom the king of Assyrian, his master, hath sent to reproach the living Elohim, and will reprove the words which the Elohim, that Yahweh thy Elohim, have heard. Wherefore, lift up thy prayer for the remnant that are left.
Drop to that 20th verse.
Then Isaiah, the son of Amoz, sent to Hezekiah, saying, Thus saith the Elohim of Israel, that which thou hast prayed to me against Shechem, king of Assyria, I have heard.
He said, so in other words, the Elohim said, I heard that prayer. Because listen, and you think about when you look down through the books, right? When the Most High is not going to honor a prayer, he said, I don't hear it. If he's going to do it, he said, I hear your prayer. So when he said, that's how Israel, and not Israel, but Judah, now, if you go down, if you keep on reading the book of 2 Kings, which we're going to jump off, but that's a whole new lesson. I just want to show you how this took place. But we don't want to get into another lesson on that part of it, right? Because we're going to try to stay on point where we at, right? So let's go back to Hosea 1 and 8. But if you go ahead and if you read down through there, you'll see what actually took place in this situation, which is actually covered by the book of Hosea, right? And it's in 1 Chronicles. But let's go with Hosea 1 and 8.
Now when she had weaned Jerusalem,
so as she is weaned off, you know, your little baby, you got one baby, you wean them off, right? And then there's no Ruhumah,
she conceived and bare a son.
Now listen, this wasn't like they had one child that was three, one that was 2, and one that was 1. This happened over a period of time. There's a period of time that this took place, right? Okay, so now, he said, and then Elohim, and she bare a son.
Then said Elohim, call his name Lo-Ami, for ye are not my people.
For what?
For ye are not my people.
And what?
And I will not be your God.
So now he's telling those that people that he put together, he's telling those Ashkenaz, the Jewish people over there, he said, you are not my people. He said, you are not my people. Right? He said, and what? He said, and I'm not your God. But yeah, I would not be your God. So, Lo-Ami means ye are not my people. But the people who is, the people, they are the people who that's going to be used as imposters to make Israel, what? Jealous in the Holy Land. And they're there today. Those people in the Holy Land today is not his people. We all knew that. We all heard that. But we had the wrong understanding of how they got there, who did it, and what caused it. Right? So the Most High could not have been talking to Israel in this lesson when it came down to Hosea 1, 8, and 9. Why? Because Genesis 28 and 10 28 and 10 through 12, I'm sorry, 10 through 15 exists. And here it comes. Genesis 28, 10. And we're going to read down through 15.
Genesis chapter 28, verse 10.
Uh-huh.
And Jacob went out from Beersheba.
And Jacob went out from Beersheba
and went towards Haran.
Uh-huh.
And he lighted up a certain place.
He lit up a certain place.
And tarried there all night.
So in other words, he pulled up, he camped out. He lit his little fire poles and all the other good stuff and lanterns, and he lit that place up, and they tarried all night. And what?
Because the sun was set.
The sun was set. It was getting dark. He had to light the place up. We're gonna stay right here. Not many Israelites traveled during the night hours because they was really on foot. When they especially traveled with the multitude of people that he had, and he was carrying his sheep and his cattle and stuff. Read.
And he took up the stones of that place, and put them for pillows.
Okay.
And lay down in that place to sleep.
And
he dreamed, and behold, a ladder set up on the earth. And the top of it reached to the heaven.
And the top of it reached to heaven.
And behold,
the
angels of Elohim ascended and descended on it.
And read.
And behold, the Lord stood above it and said, I am the Elohim of Abraham thy father, and the Elohim of Isaac. The land whereof thou layest, to thee will I give it, and to thy seed.
And what?
And thy seed shall be as the dust of the earth, and thou shalt spread abroad to the west and to the east and to the north and to the south, and in thee and in the city thy seed shall all the families of the earth be blessed.
So wait a minute. Where did the Most High spread them to?
Four corners.
And when he spread them to the four corners of the earth, right? They all multiplied. You had 1,000 people went here, and they made out to be like 10,000. You had 500 went over there, and they ended up being like 7,000. So as they spread around, they was in different clusters. In different clusters in the north, south, east, and west. They went to different places. They didn't only just come to America and Bahamas. They went into a whole lot of places. So these people, the people that he's talking about, Israel, they what? They grew big. And where'd you stop at, brother? And read.
And behold, I am with thee. I will keep thee in all the places whither thou goest, and will bring thee again unto this land. For I will not leave thee until I have done that which I have spoken to thee of. I'm sorry, speak to thee of.
So what did he promise Abraham? Not Abraham, I'm sorry. But Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. But Jacob, he took Jacob, and Jacob became what? Israel. So now, when we're talking about Jacob, now we're looking at Israel. Because a lot of times he'll say Jacob in the book, and he'll mean Israel. He'll say Israel, he means Jacob. Right? So now we're looking at now that he's saying that he would not leave Israel until he did everything that he had promised Israel that he would do. You see? Let's get into my lesson for next week, and I'm not going to go there because I don't want to go with my nugget. But as you can see, now, he could not have been talking to Israel telling them, you are not my people. Right? He couldn't be telling them you're not my people. Because he has not done what he has set out to do. This prophecy has not been fulfilled. It has been partially fulfilled. It has not been completely fulfilled. So therefore, part of it has been fulfilled, and part of it haven't. But until the whole prophecy is fulfilled, right? Then he can turn his back on whoever he wants to. But until then, his promise with Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob will always stand until the fulfillment of the prophecy, or the fulfillment of the covenant that he made with our forefathers. So he will not deny them and say, you're not my people. He can't do it. Because he can't lie. He got to go by the same law that he puts upon us. Whatever he tells us to do, and we live by his law, he is the law. He is it. So that's why he couldn't take Israel and send him to a harlot. He'd take a Gentile and send him to the harlot. And this was symbolic unto Israel because Israel was not doing the right thing. They was not keeping the law. They was serving other gods, which he called whoredom, because the Gentile nation served a God that was not our Elohim, and he called them whoredom because guess what? He made everybody. He's the father of them all. He's the father of everybody on this earth. He is. The only thing about it is that Israel is chosen. That's the difference, right? They're chosen. Because nobody was created without his hands being in it. Right? He's the potter and everybody else is the clay. So he made everything. But he only chose that people. Right? For that reason. Give me Deuteronomy 7:1. Just to back me up, okay? Just to back me up a little bit. And I want you to read down to 6 for me. I want you to go to Hosea 1 instead of 8. I did that backwards there. Okay,
I'm already at Deuteronomy.
Okay, go ahead with Deuteronomy. You go back to Hosea. Sorry about that.
Deuteronomy 7.
Uh-huh.
You said 1 through 6?
Yes, sir.
Deuteronomy chapter 7. When Yahweh Elohim shall bring thee into the land whither thou goest to possess it, and have cast out many nations before thee.
Now he already moved them. This is when he brought them out of Egypt. What?
The Hittites.
Can y'all see why they don't like us? Read.
The Girgashites. The Amorites. The Canaanites. And the Perizzites. And the Havites. The Jebusites.
Oh, keep going.
7 nations greater and mightier than thou.
There was 7 nations that was greater and mightier than Israel. And what?
And when the Elohim shall deliver them before thee.
When he gonna take them and make you, and he gonna allow Israel to conquer these big nations. Can't you see why these people don't like Israel? Can't you see why they want to split them up from their Elohim? Because we are nothing without him. We didn't do it. He defeated them. That's why they want to. That's why they put us in the position where they said they're going to make us no more of a nation. That's why the first thing they did when they got us off that boat, they tried to poured that pork down your neck. Because they know that now what's going on, you defile the law of the covenant of what? Huh? Yeah, but the dietary law. Right? And then they got you to worship those gods, those foreign gods that they were. Because remember in Deuteronomy 28, he told you all this was going to happen. And everything that was done caused us a separation in between us. But he said he's going to wake up Judah first. We're waking up. Where you at, brother?
And thou shalt smite them and utterly destroy them. Thou shalt make no covenant with them, nor show mercy unto them.
Y'all hear that, right? Read. But y'all know what Israel did, don't you? Keep reading.
Neither shalt thou make marriages with them.
Y'all know that. Keep going.
Their daughters thou shalt not give unto his sons. Nor his daughters shalt thou take unto thy son.
What?
For they will turn away thy son from following me.
What do y'all think happened to Solomon? Read.
That they may serve other gods. So will the anger of the Elohim be kindled against you, and destroy thee suddenly.
You see that? Keep reading, brother.
But thus shall ye deal with them. Ye shall destroy their altars, and break down their images, and cut down their groves, and burn their graven images with fire.
Why do y'all think Gideon did that? Gideon went down there and tore down his father's altar. They were pissed at the Gideon. But Gideon knew he had the Most High. He didn't have to worry about anything. Read, brother.
For thou art a holy people unto the Most High.
Wait a minute. Like I said, he created everybody, right? But he chose Israel to be a holy people unto himself. And what?
Let's go back.
For thou art a holy people unto the Most High.
Uh-huh.
The Lord thy God hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself.
Right, you see that? A special people unto himself, but here it comes.
Above all people that are upon the face of the earth.
If there was any other God that had created any other people, how can the Most High say, me and you both are gods? I mean, you got two car makers. You got GM and you got Ford. And both of them say, I'm going to make you a really good car. They can control what cars they make and how great they can make these cars. Right? But if it was only GM, GM can say, I'm only going to make me one really nice car, and the next one I'm going to have down below. I'm going to give them a moderate car. Then I'm going to make one even on down for the ones that can afford those little smaller cars. But with Israel, with Israel, and there's one true God, he can make a people greater than another people. Because he's the only one that's speaking of that. There's nobody that can test what he do. Yes, sister.
It was a commercial, I think it was on the Super Bowl or something. You a commercial that came on. And Ron caught it. And it's a new commercial. And people were trying to buy these new Buicks. And the lady said, oh, I don't like that one, but I like that one. And she said, how can Buick tell somebody don't buy this car that I made?
Right.
That one is a better car. It's a ridiculous commercial. And so when you just said that, it just reminded me of that commercial. Like, you made this car and you made this car, but obviously one car is going to be better than the other.
Exactly. So the same way the Most High is. He said, this is a greater people. He said, I chose these people to be a special people unto me. And these people are above all the other people on earth. Do you not think these people don't read the same book we read? Do you think they don't know who we are? Do you think they're not pissed off at us? Do you don't think that they know that we're in bondage? Do you know that when that 400 years pass by, they're going to be some sick souls? Do you not know that they realize that the people over there, the Ashkenaz Jews that's over there, do you think they don't know what's going on? They know. Everybody knows. But us. Because when we tell our people the truth about this thing, what begin to happen? They'll go with the gods of wood and stone, and they'll leave the everlasting, almighty God to himself. They will not reconcile themselves back into him. But they will pay the cost. Yes, sister. You had your hand up? Oh, she already did it? Yes, sir.
Verse 7.
Mm-hmm.
The Most High did not set his love upon you, nor choose you, because you were more in number than any people.
You see that? It wasn't because you were so great and you such a big Lord. That Israel was just such a big wide group of people, and they could overtake people. Because the Most High didn't need somebody that would overtake nobody. It was just like with Gideon. Gideon had 3,000 men, but if those 3,000 men had went and won that war, those 3,000 men would think they did that themselves, and they would give no glory unto the Most High. He broke them down to 300. The Most High didn't choose us because we was a great people. He chose us why?
For we were the fewest of all people.
So anything that's done that brings Israel out and make Israel to be a nation of people that are above the other people, they know that it has to be done through a what? A power greater than themselves, which is our Elohim, the father of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. I'm sorry, and Eliyahu, but and Jacob. I like to put my name in. Anybody put their name in too, right? Give me that 10th verse, my brother. Hosea 1 and 10.
Yet the number of the children of Israel shall be as the sand of the sea.
You see that? Read.
Which cannot be measured nor numbered.
Uh-huh.
And it shall come to pass that in the place where it was said unto them.
What? You hear that? Here it comes now. Now he's getting ready to flip it. Here comes the flip. Because the first flip came through, it was talking about the Ashkenazis not being the people, they're going to be called the people. But when they was called the people, that means that Israel was being told that you are not the people. But now it's getting ready to hit that thing directly. Let's go, brother.
Ye are not my people.
Uh-huh.
there it shall be said unto them, ye are the sons of the living God.
Understand this, that when this prophecy came into Hosea, Hosea was in Jerusalem. He was in Israel. So in the same place in Israel where they told us that we was not going to be his people, in the same place, in the time they will say, these are the sons of the living God. Because there are no other God. Why do y'all think they say living God? Because that Christmas tree that they worship can't move. Buddha can't get his big butt up off of that and move around. Mary can't move around. That stone they got over there in Israel somewhere that they worship, that thing can't move. None of these things have life. But he is the only living Elohim that exists. That's why he can say, those are my people. That is a special people. That people is greater than this people, which is higher than that people and higher than that people. But why? Because he can do whatever he wants to do. If you make yourself a God and you go down and cut out any role you want, go ahead and read. I'm sorry, sister.
No, it just makes me think of right now when I talk to people, we got a lot of people, even our own people, that will say, we are not those people. So it's almost like that prophecy, the first half.
Yes.
You're getting a lot of, oh, y'all not the true people. You're getting that right now.
But the part I don't understand about that, and this is my personal thing, and I'm going to say it right, is this right here. I lived my whole life being considered a Gentile, the lowest of all nations. And if I can believe that because somebody told me that and not because I read that, right? I can believe that and live with that and I can accept being the lowest of the low. Then if I read that I am the highest of the high, why can't I live by that? Why can't I believe that? Am I so convinced that I'm nothing, that I can't become that something that the Most High made me to be? I think sometimes a lot of people are afraid of the success of being Israel. They are afraid that they may have to keep a law or two. Oh, we can't live by the law. How many people told y'all that? Oh, I can't do the 10 Commandments. Oh, no, I'm telling you, look, I was with you and tell you, y'all eat good and everything, but man, I can't do this. I can't do the 10 Commandments.
I can't shop on Saturday, so that's when all the sales come out.
I know I can't spend no money on Saturday and Friday night. Yes, ma'am.
My grandmother didn't know what she was singing, but she was singing a song called "I'm God's Glorious Child by Birth, High on His Earth."
You see that?
Wow.
We might need that for Passover.
Mom, you gonna sing it?
You see what I mean? But look at it. Hey, so look, that just proved my theory, right? That's Mama. She made her. I can pass on you. Okay. All right. Okay. So Isaiah 52:1. So we got to remember, Israel was dispersed to all the nations, right? After the Syrians took them captive. So Judah was protected until later, right? But of course, y'all know that Judah did go into bondage. If not, we wouldn't be here today. Isaiah 52:1.
Isaiah 52, verse 1.
Awake,
Awake. Put on the strength.
Put on the strength.
O Zion.
O Zion.
Put on thy beautiful garment.
Put them on. What?
O Jerusalem. The holy city.
The same one that in Revelation 21 begins to say that when he talked to John, and John said, I saw New Jerusalem coming down. What?
For henceforth there shall no more come unto thee the uncircumcised and the unclean.
Because the city that are made up of that nation that is not the people that is not a nation are people of the uncircumcision. Did you get that? Because the Gentiles was not given the law of circumcision. The law of circumcision was given to who?
Israel.
So he says that they were not, I mean, it's right there. Right? Read, brother.
Shake thyself from the dust. Arise and sit down. O Jerusalem. Lose thyself from the bands of the neck. O captive daughter of Zion.
Read.
For thus saith the Elohim, ye have sold yourselves for naught, and ye shall be redeemed without money.
You sold yourself. He said that Israel sold himself for nothing. Why? Because there's nothing here on earth that's worth anybody, right, losing their salvation. Because when it all comes down to it, those people that are married unto money, those people that are married unto houses and cars and clothes, at the end of the day, when the Most High come up, those things are going to be worthless unto those people. There's nothing greater than salvation. Yes.
There's like a debate from Monique and Steve Harvey.
Yes, I saw that. Have anybody seen that? I mean, both of them in the same bed. But go ahead, sister. I'm sorry.
Steve was basically like he married to the dollar, so it's all about the dollar.
That's what he said.
You better shut up and get them money.
Steve was like,
forget the poor people. You got to work, focus on.
he said the best thing. He said the best thing you can be. He said the best thing you can do for a poor person is not to become poor yourself. He didn't say give them something.
Best thing you say. Best thing you can do for a poor person is not to become poor.
That's what he said. He said that. Red don't like Steve either. I can say it with a smile. He can't. He don't like it.
I can't smile. Let me say this: we be at work, and if Steve Harvey on his desk sit across from mine, I just see his eyes come up. No. You know it better stop. No.
He must be my wife's brother. Oh, that woman right there, boy, she can't stand Steve. I mean, even that little show he do where they be guessing back and forth. Family Feud. She don't want nothing with that.
Nothing.
But the man's a sellout. He told her that money means more than her moral standards and values, is what he said. But the bigger part about this thing is Monique didn't get paid what Monique wanted to get paid, right? But she says that we all need to come together. But Monique, if they gave you what you wanted, but you gonna call me and say, hey, Lord, I got 10,000 for you. No, you weren't gonna give me anything. So why is it our problem? You laid in bed with them. You became Illuminati. You signed in blood. Y'all deal with that. I'm not getting out there and deal with none of that crap. That's y'all mess. Y'all want to fight among thieves? Y'all fight among thieves. That's your business. Now you want to come up to the Most High? We welcome you. We'll pray with you. We'll try to get you in line with this word. Other than that, step. Ooh. No, okay, no. So look now. Read that third verse again. But thus says Yahweh.
But thus says the Most High, ye have sold yourself for naught, and ye shall be redeemed without money.
You're not going to pay your way in. All we gotta do is be obedient to the covenant. You ain't gotta pay your way. It's a way of living, and you're in, right? But Hosea was in Jerusalem during the time of this prophecy. We got to understand that, right? Give me the 11th verse of Hosea. I think that's 1 and 11.
Then shall the children of Judah and the children of Israel be gathered together, and appoint themselves one head, and they shall come up out of the land. For great shall be the day of Jezreel.
Now let me throw something in there for you, right? I'm going to throw something out there for you. It might help you for next week, right? If the Most High divorced Israel, and using the law of marriage, how can he return to Israel? Huh? Smart lady. I should have held that. You gave her my secret. You folks say I don't know. But look at this, right? So look at this, right? I'm saying that to say this right here, right? They're gonna be gathered back together. Right? Am I correct? So at that time, that means what? Something getting ready to go down, right? Ezekiel 37 and 19. Ezekiel 37 and 19. But it says that for the great shall be what? In the day of Jezreel. Where do you guys think that this big Armageddon war gonna be at? Which is what? It's gonna, Jezreel is right there in there. It's right there. There you go.
It's an ancient Israelite city, where the tribe of Issachar was.
So if you look at the book of Hosea 1, chapter 1, it's the Most High giving Hosea a prophecy, using the Gentiles to bring Israel to jealousy. Is what that's about. A lot of people think he's talking directly to Israel. No, that's not what's happening. Nobody in there played a role that was Israelite except for when he talked about Israel and Judah being put here and put there. That's it. Yes.
It's kind of like the book of Obadiah, right? Written to Israel and written to the Edomites.
Exactly.
It's written to actually this chapter is written to actually.
And the Most High have a better word for these heathens. But go ahead and read Ezekiel 37.
Ezekiel 37 and 19.
Yes, sir.
Say unto them, thus says the Most High, behold, I will take the stick of Joseph, which is in the hand of Ephraim, and the tribes of Israel, his fellows, and will put them with him, with the stick of Judah, and make them one stick, and they shall be one in mine hand. Read. And the sticks whereon thou writest shall be in thy hand before thy eyes. And say unto them, thus says the Most High, what? Behold, I will take the children of Israel from among the heathen.
Because he know where he sent them to. Read.
Whither they be gone, and will gather them on every side and bring them into their own land.
Say what?
I will bring them into their own land.
So that's telling you right there, so that we're not in our land. So who's there? Read.
I will make them one nation in the land upon the mountains of Israel, and one king shall be king to them all, and they shall be no more two nations, neither shall they be divided into two kingdoms anymore at all.
Who is that one king? Yahshua, HaMashiach is that one king. Give me the 23rd verse.
Neither shall they defile themselves anymore with the idols.
They ain't want no crosses.
Nor with the detestable things.
They're not going to want anything. Keep going.
Nor with any of their transgressions. But I will save them out of all their dwelling places, wherein they have sinned, and will cleanse them. So shall they be my people, and I will be their Elohim.
Wait a minute now, back up. In 21, he was talking about Israel, wasn't he? Don't get the letter of divorce. Don't get the letter of divorce. Yeah, I'm talking about sisters right there. You said through death, I said, don't forget about the letter of divorce. Hosea 2 and 1. Hosea 2, verse 1.
Say ye unto your brethren, Ami, and to your sisters, Ruhamah. Plead with your mother. Plead, for she is not my wife.
Y'all see that? Y'all see that? So he's telling the woman from Gomer, which is Ashkenaz, that you are not my wife. You nor your seed of my people. I'm not married to you guys. What?
Neither am I her husband.
You're not my wife, and I'm not your husband. What?
Let her therefore put away her whoredoms out of her sight, and her adultery from between her breasts.
Read.
Lest I strip her naked.
Lest I strip her naked and what?
Let's set her as in the day that she was born, and make her as a wild wilderness, and set her like a dry land, and slay her with thirst.
Read.
And I will not have mercy upon her children, for they will be the children of the whoredoms.
So you go into the book of Obadiah, this explains why he talked to them the way he did in Obadiah. Okay, Romans 10:19. You here for a reading? All right. Yes.
So it says, Ruth Ma and Ami. It's like he took the low off. Like, I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, but is he saying that, you know, they got a chance to turn because he took the low off because it's just no?
Exactly.
Because low is like no mercy.
Exactly.
No.
You're right. You're definitely right. You're definitely right. Because they say, remember the children.
And no is no in Hebrew. Yeah.
So remember, these people were used, right? And they were children of whoredom. They were used to place Jerusalem, in the place of Jerusalem, to bring jealousy upon Israel, right? But we got to understand something, that if these people don't turn, because remember, am I getting ready to read it? I'm getting ready to read it. Okay, so we'll wait till we get there. Go with Romans 10 and 18.
All right, Romans chapter 10, verse 19. But I say, did not Israel know? First Moses said, I will provoke you to jealousy by them that are no people.
By them that are no people, what?
And by a foolish nation I will anger you.
You see that? If you look over there and just see how foolish they really are. Because the foolish part of it is this. Is that this nation that are chosen without a covenant, right? And has learned some of the ways of Israel, has an opportunity to turn. So I was heading down that road, sister, you're right. Has an opportunity to turn. And if they turn, because remember, he said in the beginning that the fall of Israel was a salvation to the Gentiles. Would give them an opportunity, right? That they could turn. Because remember, at the end, there's going to be people from all nations. It's going to be innumerable. But this is just a few nations of people that if they turn, they can make it in.
And then you said that when we was reading Genesis 10, it was like, and through Israel, which are all the families of the world.
Yes, all of them. So somebody from every nationality, I believe, right? We get that. But if they don't turn, because some of these people that run around with that black on over there, them hats on, them curls coming down like they women. Some is wrong, and then they say that the guys are saying that they don't believe in the Most High. They say they are Satanists or something like that.
Yeah, they don't.
So I don't think they're gonna be the ones that's gonna make it. All of them is not gonna make that trip. You know what I mean? Right? And you, yeah, and you hit 20 from it.
But Elias is very bold,
which is Isaiah. Right? Is very bold
and said, I was found of them that sought me not.
You see that? He said, I was found of them that sought me not. The Ashkenaz Jews did not seek him out, but they was found of him because he chose them to do a what? A service for him to make us a jealous people. But in the process of that, they learned his ways. They just choose not to do them. That's what makes them a foolish people. Right? He said, and what?
I was made manifest unto them that asked not after me.
So he manifested himself and he showed them what he could do. They know his power, they know his strength, but they won't turn. That's what makes them a foolish people. And that 21st verse said what?
But to Israel, he said,
here we go.
All day long I have stretched forth my hands until a disobedient and gainsaying people.
Israel gonna do right, but he got it on. Come on, Israel, can you please get this right?
They want you to get on your knee.
Yeah. They want him to get up off the throne.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, come down here first.
Come sit on my throne with me right here. And please do right.
Come to my house, sit on the couch, and then I get right. I know you real.
Yeah, right. You know what I mean?
Yeah, okay.
Romans 11:11.
Romans 11:11.
Yes.
I say then, hath Elohim cast away his people? Yah forbids. For I also am an Israelite, of the seed of Abraham, of the tribe of Benjamin.
Wait. Did we get that right? Mm-hmm. I said Romans 11:11.
Yeah.
I say that.
Oh, I went to chapter 11, and I read the first verse. My bad. I was on one.
He made me think I was crazy. I know it was good, but check this one out. But the one I want here, here it comes.
Okay.
Go, brother. It was good. You can read that one after if you like. All right. But I need this one. You ready?
Right. Romans 11:11.
And you started off right too. Watch it. Here you go.
I say that.
That's why I thought he had it, right? And then he kept reading. I was like, that ain't right. Did I write mine down wrong? Because I thought he read from book, but let's go.
All right, I say then. Have thou stumbled that thou should fall? Yah forbid. But rather through their fall.
But rather through the fall of Israel.
Salvation is come unto the Gentiles, for the to provoke them to jealousy.
I read that twice so you would know in the beginning and in the end, right? Because I knew that question was going to come up. If they turn, yes. But they have been introduced to salvation by the fall of Israel. They have an opportunity, right? Ezekiel 8:5. Revelation 3.
Let me know where y'all there. Ezekiel 8:5. Chapter 8, verse 5.
So, as we can see right now, we can see that, once again, the Most High was not talking directly to Israel in this situation of the book of Hosea. Chapter 1, chapter 2. It's going to, if you continue to read it and get even deeper. I just wanted to deal with that issue of how they got in there, what's being said to them while they're there, and let them know that they're not going to stay there. Because if they, and trust me, they read the word. That's how, because this thing happened, it was a prophecy. So after they read the prophecy, then they knew that they could get in. They knew they were Ashkenaz Jews. They knew their name popped up. They knew that they could be the ones that could get into Israel. And you got other people of the same Goma that their names and they do, and they're over there. Do you know that they run each other back and forth? They fighting each other over there for that land. They're being trodden down, and all of them gonna be there just for a little while. They ain't gonna be there forever.
Yeah, because they really legitimately just got there.
48.
How many years?
1948. 70 years.
So it took them a while to get there. So it didn't just happen right there like that, right? But it's such a great place that they want to stay there because they know it's a holy land. They know it's a blessing. They know that that land has been set aside for the what? For the chosen people of the Most High. They know that there's only one true Elohim. They know this.
And that's why surrounding people won't let them have no peace.
They won't.
They won't have no peace.
Hitler went down through there because he knew they weren't supposed to be there. Hitler went on down through there, took them out, digging big long ditches, throwing them bodies in their head first.
Ezekiel chapter 8, verse 5.
And it reads thus wise.
Then said unto me,
and then he said unto me,
Son of man, lift up thy eyes now the way towards the north.
Lift up thy eyes, and lift up thy eyes now toward the way, toward the north. What?
So I lift up my eyes the way towards the north, and behold, northward at the gate of the altar, this image I'm sorry. This image of jealousy in the entry.
Stop right there. So y'all get this right quick, right? He said, behold, northward at the gate of the altar, this image of jealousy in the entry. The Most High is a jealous God. He said, my name is jealousy. Right? Now also look at this. Jealousy is in the entry, right? Until Israel has to get jealous of their land. For their land, they got to get jealous of the people that's there. Once they get there, once they get jealous of, they're going to line up with the covenant. Once you line up to the covenant, that catapults you right into the gate. Do you see that? When you line up to the covenant that is made between Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob and the Most High, that is a first-class ticket to the gate. And guess what? Jealousy will do it for you. It'll line you right up. Because it's just like in the book of Joel, he said that then the Most High will be jealous for his land and pity his people. You see? So there has to be a sense of jealousy. If y'all remember the lesson from last week, how the Most High act on jealousy, and we talk about the marriage and on a regular level and all that different stuff. So we got to see this thing for what it is. Yes, ma'am.
When I think about the jealousy is jealous over something that's yours, not jealous over something that is not yours.
The jealousy, right. The jealousy that we're talking about is a good jealousy.
Jealous over what's yours.
Right. It's not, there's no envy or strife involved. There's no coveting involved. You're not coveting something that belongs to somebody else. You just miss what's yours. That's it. Right? Revelation 3 and 9. And 10. We all know that one good. John 4 and 22.
Revelations 3, verse 9. Behold, I will make them of the synagogue of Satan.
Why do you think they called? Y'all knew that? He called them the synagogue of Satan because he know that those Ashkenaz Jews over there don't even worship him. They worship Satan. That's why he called them a synagogue of Satan. What?
Which say they are Jews.
Which they claim to be my people.
And are not.
But they not my people.
But do lie.
But they just busting a big lie.
Behold, I will make them to come and worship before thy feet.
You saying you my people, I'll make you worship my people. I'll make you worship those people that you want to be like.
And to know that I have loved thee.
And I'm going to show you what my love really is. Give me the 10th verse.
Because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I also will keep them from the hour of temptation.
He talking about his people. Read.
Which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth.
They coming at us. When we line up, ain't nothing they can do because it's just like it was when we went to battle and they dealt with all those different nations. Israel didn't win the battles. The Most High did. Y'all remember they just started beating the drum, the people just ran out the camp. Y'all remember that? They ain't even lifted out one finger. That'd be the kind of army I like to be a part of. You ain't got to fight. Just show up. Eat real good and go on back to the house.
Fight done before the battle.
Fight already done. Ain't that something? That's like going to work on the job and your boss gonna do the work. That's a good thing. John 4 and 22. All right. John 4 and 22. Check this out. Now, John is talking to the Gentiles. Listen to what John tells the Gentiles. You ready? Go, brother.
Ye worship not what we know, what we worship.
Ye worship, right? Ye know not. So what they're worshiping, they don't even know what they're worshiping. They just over there. They don't know the significance of worship, the worship in the true Elohim. They just there. They worshiping, but they don't even know what they're worshiping. What?
Let me start over. Ye worship. Ye know not what we
You know not what?
You know not what? We know what we worship.
Israel know what they worshiping. They know who he is. They know what's going on. That John told them himself. We know what we worship. Y'all don't have no idea. Keep going, brother.
For salvation is of the Jews.
Because the salvation actually of Israel.
But the hour cometh, and now is, when the true worshipers shall worship the Father in spirit and in truth.
When the true worshipers, because the ones that know what they worship when they worship the Most High and how to worship him are true worshipers. Those ones who are thinking like they worshiping the Most High, right, don't know what they worshiping, are not true. But there's going to be a time that those people are going to be removed and the true worshipers are going to just roll right in there.
Father seeks such to worship him. Elohim is a spirit, and they that worship him must worship him in spirit and in truth. The woman said unto him,
no, for the Father seekers. Am I right?
No, I read that.
Did I put it on there twice? After spirit and truth, it don't say for the Father?
Mine go to 25th verse.
It do? It jump past to you in 24?
I already did 24.
No, in 24, that's why. Okay, so what we got to understand, right, and once again, let's not take this prophecy for the wrong way. Let's keep this prophecy where it is. We got to remember that part of this prophecy has been fulfilled and part of it has not been fulfilled. We got to also realize that there was a prophet that question mark, because his father was a Hittite, it's question mark whether that all of them are Jews, Israel. But we don't know if his mother was an Israelite or not, and he came through the blood of his mother. That's the next thing, right? But we also got to realize that chapter 1 and 2 of Hosea is once again is a prophecy, and it's telling us that we are being provoked unto jealousy by a people that's not even a nation of people. Maybe he's going to take something that's not even a nation and provoke us with it. So we just have to line ourselves up and get right and continue to do those things we know which is right and according to the covenant. Right? And don't let anybody tell you, no matter what you see on TV and who you are, because, you know, a lot of times families are worse people, but don't let them tell you who you are and who you not are, who you are not, and try to replace you in their mind, because the Most High have already shown us where they stand and how we are. I want to thank each and every one of you for your time, and may the Most High be with each and every one of you. We can all stand and face